Ladies and gentlemen, in this video, we're going to be making an abandoned farm. Now, I got this idea because I remember literally just a couple days ago, I was driving and we were in a rural area and I saw an abandoned farm. And it's winter, so the shit was caked in snow, and I thought, damn, that looks kind of fire. So we're going to be making that today. I want to have 1 or 2 silos, a barn, and then a house. And then the rest is just like landscaping. So for now, to begin with, I'm going to start with a silo, because that'll be the easiest to make. I don't actually know how big it should be, though. That's the only thing. That could be a good thickness right there. This is a fire silo texture right here. I'm just using the perfect circle hack because probably the easiest thing to do in this kind of scenario. That'll be like our silo roof. We just gotta make sure this actually fits the way I'd like it to. Because it might not. Because you do that, right? And then you put another one of these on top and rotate that shiz by a medium grid space. And honestly, that's kind of fire. Hold on. If we make this that rank-ass metal roof, mid-gray, darken it, bam. We'll put snow on this, but like, we're gonna do this for now. Bam. Then, bam, 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 bam. Fill this in. Simple as that. Wham. Then, put this on top. Rotate that shiz. Bam. Bring it down. Wham. That looks so... That looks like a willy, bro. That looks like a willy. Devs? Devs? You can't even notice the lines I put on it. We'll keep them anyways, though. That is a bit annoying. I need to get, like, a ladder or something that, like, sticks out. Can we call that finished? I don't know. It's the silo. I know that much, but does it look good? That I also don't know. I don't even know if I'm gonna make a road for this, if I'm being honest. I deadass might just like have tons of snow and some dead plants. But I think after the silo, we should probably start the house, because that's going to be quick and easy. I'm not entirely sure if I'll do interiors. I'm thinking about it. It's definitely on my mind. I'm going to totally go for like an old kind of country house. Real traditional. That's my kind of goal here. Gotta go for the classic gable roof. This might be the first time y'all have seen me just casually make a house, because I never do. I'm just now realizing that. This might actually be the first time y'all are seeing me make a house. This place is going to be very bland of color. Going to make it similar to the Pennywise house we did a while back. It's going to have a lot of wood that's just beige. I lost my reference, so I have no idea what I'm building right now. Oh, I found it. This is my reference right here. This should be 2 stories right here. That's my issue. I might do some custom evergreen trees, like I did on the orphanage. I'm pretty sure that's what the video was. I did a custom evergreen tree, which was quite fun. It was the orphanage. Let's make some windows. Classic windows. We're gonna make them quite tall, a little bit skinny. I think that's a good size. We'll make them wood, beige. That's not right. Wooden beige, black glass, and then we'll get trim around it. Can you guys believe we're halfway through December already? It's crazy. It feels like it was just September. November especially just flew by. No idea why. Like, November disappeared. I don't even remember half of the shit that happened in November. Are these windows too wide? I don't think so. I can't help but think the building might be a bit too big. It could just be because we have no shape. Gotta do a bunch of just random cooking and maybe we'll actually come up with something. You know, just random stuff like that. You can already see it kind of taking shape. Sort of. Not really. Like, we'll start getting trims and stuff, and this will really give it the effect I'm kind of looking for. And then we'll go more in depth with the detail as well, using more ornate kind of items. You can see we're getting more of a established shape now. I would like a wall trim around the top. This will also allow us to get more of a primitive, structured kind of look, and I can actually place my windows at a more appropriate spot, because they're not really in a great spot at the moment. I'll put like a trim on the shingles as well. I'm liking this. There's still something a bit off about it, but I'm rolling with it for now. You can see we've made some progress. Our house is almost finished. We finished our silo. Now we have the barn and all the landscaping, which is probably gonna be the hardest part if I'm being real. But there's a couple more details I want to get onto the actual house, and that's like maybe a satellite, maybe something to connect it to a power line, because I would like some power lines. You know, just shit like that. And then maybe we get like an old truck or something. Or an old car somewhere in the yard. Because maybe it's like an old farmer's house and then him and his wife passed here or something. Not to make it dark, but like, you guys get what I mean? Like with lore and shit. These spots here are very blank. So I'm gonna like just fill them in with a little bit of something. And then it'll just be a little more detail on our house. And then we could call the house finished for now. Because I do want to get decals on all of our abandoned buildings once the basic exterior's finished. I was debating on making the whole barn made out of wooden planks. Like structural wooden planks. But I'm worried about plot data. So what I might do is I might mix walls with planks. That way we can get kind of like a damaged look while also saving plot data. I'm gonna leave gaps in the walls like this, and that's where we'll put like damage. This might be the best height we could do. Looking at this though, I'm wondering if I should make it skinnier. It feels really wide. It's definitely too wide. I might cut it down to like here. This is gonna be a very bland building. I'm debating on making it literally the same color and texture as the house. Because why would the paint stick around? But at the same time, I'm unsure. What I could do is I can make a decal of like chipped paint. Maybe. I don't know. Again, I'm unsure. Maybe we make it like a really, really bland red. Like that. And that could be our barn. I don't know if I have the silos in a great spot either. They typically go beside, but it's like right where the house is. So I'm kind of wondering, should it be like right here? I'm gonna start putting like wall trims and stuff on this. I want like a cobble. If there's a nice cobble texture, I want that. Something's biting my arm. That should be a good height. Does that work? I don't know if that's a good texture or not. I might have to roll with it for now. I'm not seeing any other good candidates. I never use this texture. It's Roblox's, but it's tinted a yellow, so you can't really make it the colors you want to make it. That's the problem. Make the inside red too. I'm gonna delete all these fences, which is gonna be a bit of a pain in the ass, but it is what it is. So we'll make the inside red, and then we'll put the trim on the inside too. And then we'll start kind of crafting rafters and stuff. And then once we have all our rafters and basic structural mumbo jumbo, I guess you could call it, we can start doing the damaged planks, because you got to start off with the actual like structural part before we do the damage part, because if you do the damage part first, it's going to be a lot more difficult. But, like, we'll do something like this, maybe color it a little bit lighter or darker, just so you can tell it's a bit of a pillar. Honestly, kind of debating on using something more along the lines of this. Maybe not, though. I don't know. I just need, like, a pillar on each of the corners. Like that. Even if there's nothing there. Y'all gotta trust the process, alright? And this is gonna give us a nice base to put our damage on. And the nice part about this, right, is the 7 a.m. lighting is gonna peek through all the cracks that I'm gonna make on this wood. And it's gonna look so cool. It's gonna have a lot of the same vibes that the abandoned warehouse had, which is actually one of the most popular videos on my channel right now. Living in Canada, you have tons of these abandoned barns. Like, it's so easy to find them. They're everywhere. Like, drive down any, like, rural Canadian road, and you're probably gonna find some. Straight up. Now, if we... I don't know if I should be doing that yet or not. We'll do the planks now. Get a vertical plank. Make it the same width and thickness. Wham. There you go. And we can just kind of like place these crooked and shit. And that's how we'll get like, you know, a damaged wall kind of look. There's something that feels off about this. I like it, but I don't. You know what I mean? I almost feel like we should get wall trim to make it transition even better. I really can't tell if I like it or not. Like, the walls around them are almost too pristine for this to look realistic. That's my concern. It's like, does it actually match the walls around it? Like, can you tell what I did? And here it looks fire. Like, I like this. And all that. The sun. But, like, from the outside right here, that's where I'm kind of stuck, you know? Because, I don't know, it just doesn't look mind-blowing. I think I need more, maybe decals? Do I need decals? I don't know. I can't tell if those would help or not. That could work. Now we just gotta make a roof. And I have two options. I could do like the classic red barn, double gable kind of thing. Or I could do just a basic gable roof like this. I'm not sure which one to do, if I'm being honest. I like the gable more, honestly. But I'm wondering if the other one would be cooler. I'm also just realizing the mistake I made. The house should be on the left. And the barn should be on the right. Actually, I have a problem solver right here in my neighborhood. Make this shit 5 p.m. Problem solved. Because the problem I was kind of having was the light was messed up. But now, we're getting kind of the same effect. I do wonder though, should this go down one more? Okay, 6 is just night. What about 4? Okay, 5 is better. And what I'll do, we'll get our pillar, put it in the middle, and we'll make rafters and then a custom roof. There you go. Fire. Fire. Look at that. What now? I've got hot chocolate with me. I just had to stand out in like negative 25-degree weather to jumpstart a car. So I'm cold, and I've got hot chocolate with me. But I think now we need to do damage decals on everything except the silo. Silo's fine. Snow and ivy, and then I don't know what else. See, if I just spam the ever-living hell out of these at different heights and stuff, that could also work. I might do that before I do anything else. Does that look like piles of snow? I don't know. I think we need more alongside the road. Really create a bit more immersion, you know? That's kind of fire, you know? I never thought of doing something like this. I know mansard roofs are commonly used to make hills and stuff, but you could totally spam the ever-living hell out of them and make some cool snow piles. The problem with this, though, is I'm not really able to get much over here. Is this fire? Am I cooking? I was supposed to be doing damage, but in this snow, I could also get plenty of dead grass patches. See, the cool part about this, too, is it looks like really big piles of snow. Like, it's deep into winter now. For immersion, I'll get like a boarded up window or two. I don't want to get too many boarded windows because I don't want to hide the characteristics of the actual like house. Might get some snow in here too. Maybe it blew into here, who knows? Could be plenty of reasons. Snow works in mysterious ways, ladies and gentlemen. Could get some back here too. It being inside doesn't matter that much because it almost looks like it blew in through like the cracks of the barn, which I'm okay with. The more weirdness, the better, because it's an abandoned build, and abandoned builds are weird. It's the whole point of them. There you go. And now, all I think we need is snow decals around this, and then it'll look a lot more refined. But after the snow decals, we'll probably do, like, I don't know. Oh yeah, dead grass, dead trees, maybe a little bit of graffiti, not a ton. And then, like, an abandoned vehicle of some sort would be pretty damn cool. It's looking pretty fire, though, I must say. I'm quite pleased with it. I'm going to put my decals on a wall, and then I think I'm going to call it quits for today, because I've been building for a bit. Do I have any vehicles? Can't think of any that would make sense here other than an old vehicle, like a tractor or some shit, you know? Can't think of anything else that makes sense. Can already see the difference that this is making. And I'll also get this on the roof too, because no one's clearing it, so of course it's going to be on the roof. And then once we have all the snow down, we can move on to like dead grass and stuff, because it might be a Canadian thing, but whenever you go through like a rural area and there's snow on the ground, there's also going to be like dead grass sticking through the snow. So I'm going to get like some patches of that. Then we'll do dead trees with no leaves, as well as some evergreen trees, and then graffiti, and we might be able to call this finished. Still iffy on the interior aspect. I don't know if I'm actually going to do anything for that, but for now, that's kind of my plan. Doing something as simple as this really helps with the immersion, because now we're not getting like a blank roof and then big piles of snow on the ground. We're also getting the snow that would have fallen on the roof during the same snowfall as the snow that fell on the ground, you know? Like, this really pulls it together, I find. And I'll do the same thing on the house. Look at that. Look at the immersion that creates. Keep wondering if I should be using the field of fog, though, to make snow squalls. If I just kind of scattered these about, I like it and I don't. I've been on and off with this build, bro. I've been totally juggling other stuff, but my goal for right now is to get the rest of the grass in, because I'm still missing some patches. I do need to get a little bit more. I want to make the trees, pine and dead oak tree or maple tree, whatever tree. And I need graffiti. I also want to make a custom tractor, but I'm still unsure about that. I wouldn't mind making something like this. Like an 80s kind of thing. Like, not old enough to the point where it doesn't have a cab, but like old enough that like you look at it and it's like, damn, that's elderly. You know what I mean? So for now, I'm just gonna keep placing my grass, and we're just gonna see what happens next. So the pine tree should be simple. If I have the right decal, that is. Because I made one on the orphanage, but I don't actually remember what decal I used. And what I used was really good, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to find a good one to match it, you know what I mean? So, that's kind of the predicament I'm in right now. That will be the highest I'll go. That'll be our top, right? And then what we'll do is for the, like, sides, and to give this thing an actual cone shape, what I'll do is I'll take the decal and try to measure how tall it is, if I can. Because what I'm going to do, this tree's going to cost like 100 grand, by the way. I'm gonna get that known. I'm gonna make sure that's known. This tree will cost like 100k, which is why I think I'm only gonna use 2 decals. Because what I will do is I'll get an angle. I think that suffices. We're gonna measure how tall this angle is. There should be nice. Wait, no, you know what I could do? Hold on. If we do this, put it on an angle. My brain's not really functioning right now. Hold on, I'm trying to think. That could work right there. I need to actually put it on our kind of template right here, though. Am I cooking, y'all? Custom pine tree, yo. That's kind of fire. Hold on. My mother's messaging. So, I may or may not make a couple changes to this. I do need to make a better trunk, because that pole I made was kind of a template. So what I'll do is something simple like this. We'll make like a template with a block. Then we'll get a cylinder, something like this. Make it go about that high. Kind of thick. Give it bark for a texture. Make it like a flint, maybe. Actually, no, let's go thin. Like as thin as possible. And we'll put a cone on top. Kind of get the same height as our tree. And then around the base, I'll get wedges. And that way we'll make like kind of a trunky tree look. Can't go any higher than our kind of cylinder base, though. Yeah, that works. And then you just put this inside it. And then you have kind of your trunk. But I need to redo this, so I'm not going to do that right now. It's crazy because I just deleted the Apocalyptic Lab. Got 4.5 million out of 6.7 of value. I don't want to see any comments about that, alright? And I've already spent 300k on just grass and making this tree. Dude, what is happening with prices? Or value or whatever? I swear it feels like a lot of Bloxburg's items are very expensive. I need to make sure I make this source block also bark, as well as these. I might need to get a 4th one. Hold on. You guys are about to see why this is going to cost so much money. Because what I'm going to do, put it on an angle, bring it up. You know how we do it. They're probably going to be a little bit closer together now that I look at this. But something I'm also going to have to do is fill this in somehow. But first things first, let's put these a little closer together. I'm going to actually get another one underneath this and this. I hope this works. I don't even remember how I made the one on the orphanage, if I'm being honest. And that was probably my best tree ever. So, that's a bit worrying, but hey, we're just going to wing it. That's how we do these builds. We just wing it. We don't have a goal. We don't have a plan. We just wing it. That's our motto, I guess. Looking at this, though, I do realize that this is a bit much right here. This I'll just delete. And now I'll need to copy and paste this like 4 times. Source block. There we go. Gonna try and match the angle I have on the other side. And the nice part about this tree is if I want it to be shorter, I just put it in the ground. Which, yes, is a bit of a waste of money because I'm having decals underground, but at the same time, it works quite well. And you can kind of see, there's our tree. This is actually really tall. It looks small, but if you put it beside my... What's going on here? Did I not put this on the source? It looks really small, but if you put it beside my avatar, it's massive. Yeah, look how tall this is, bro. Just as tall as some of the really big pine trees that Bloxburg has. And I love how real this looks, too. I didn't copy the right decal. Hold on. But yeah, you can see these are 25. No, these are 12K each. My rough estimate for how expensive this is going to be like. I'm gonna say this is gonna be like. I'm gonna say 65K. That's how expensive this is gonna be, or that's my guess at least. This is gonna be worth 65K. No, 55. 60 doesn't add up. It's gonna be 55K. Or somewhere around that margin. But the nice part about this tree is now we can copy and paste this wherever we like. I'm probably gonna get a couple around the back of the house. Oh my god. Am I psychic? 54,975. I'm $25 off, y'all. What can I say? What can I say, guys? What can I say? I think I'll get like 3 there. 1, 2 here. Cause I'm also gonna get dead trees. I wouldn't mind more somewhere. I don't know where exactly though. Maybe right here. And then I'll get some dead oak trees in front of the house. Cause as much as I want to have evergreens in front of the house, the evergreens take up a lot of your sight and like view. And I don't want to like hide the house behind trees. Cause I'm kind of hiding what I built, you know, and that's not really nice. There you go. Some pine trees. Looking pretty clean, if I do say so myself. I might make them lean a little bit, though. I feel like that would create some realism. Have some leaning trees. It'd also take up a lot more space in our background. Yeah, look at that. I really like that. Might get the one back here leaning, and then we'll make a dead tree. Although I might get some more grass around these, too. Because I did kind of hold back on the grass. Because, you know, it should technically be more around the trees because the trees will hold back some of the snow. So knowing that, I think I'm going to get some more grass, put it around our trees. And then we might be able to move on to our dead tree and then graffiti. I really want to finish all the landscaping, all the gardening, all that. Like, everything that makes the exterior look like an abandoned build. Pretty much. But, you know, like shit like this. Get your grass in here. Can already see the effect that's kind of making. Yeah, look at that. Some realistic landscaping. Next I'm going to make our dead tree. Literally going to use the same strategy I used to make live. What's the right word for it? It's deciduous, isn't it? Because carnivorous is like pine trees. I'm so goated. To make our deciduous trees, I'm just going to use the same exact strategy I used to make, whatchamacallit, the live ones. It's just I'm not going to put any decals on it because the leaves are dead. They fell off. Or maybe I should, because branches and all that. I don't know. For now, I'm just going to make it with no decals, and we're going to see what we turn up with. There you go. That's pretty fire. I'm going to get some bushes, because this is actually a bush. These can go away. I don't need these anymore. I've also got this, which could also be like a dead bush. And we'll get a couple of those around in our, like, field. Yeah, just something like that. Get a couple around in our dead oak trees, too. And our pine trees, too. Like, could literally go anywhere. Nice space filler here. Just like that. And we'll also get the more crowded and grass-like variant, too. There you go. That's looking pretty fire. I think I might try to get some graffiti. Again, I'm going to make it minimal. Because this is a farm. Again, kind of like the logic of the abandoned prison and the abandoned orphanage, the abandoned asylum. They're far away from big cities, so they're going to be very, very empty in terms of graffiti. So I'm going to get like very, very little tags just to add that, you know, abandoned feel while also keeping it kind of rural. And then after that, all we have left is a custom tractor, if I still plan on doing that, which I kind of do. I do think I should do that, and I do kind of want to do that. Something I also do want to do is fake curtains. Something like this could be fire, just for some immersion. Get like a really rank-ass curtain, maybe a red. And I'll do this on multiple floors, because I don't think I'm going to put an interior on this. Because it, to me, doesn't feel very necessary. Because I am, why is this? Oh. Because the thing about the interior situation is, it's just a house, right? Like, there's nothing really interesting about a house. You can kind of see the effect that makes, though. It's pretty cool. Get the same thing on upper floors. Just like that. Nice little, detail. I tell you, man, these abandoned builds, they're hard work. No interiors, but man, oh man. They do take some elbow grease. Because they are very, very demanding in terms of, you know, various details. But you can kind of see the effect that gives. Really looks like some old rank-ass curtains. Smelling like mildew or something. But I think the last thing we gotta do is graffiti. Get some garbage. A custom tractor would be fire. We'll get some immersion too, like pallets. Maybe from a delivery or something. Crates. You know, all that jazz to give it a farm vibe. I got a really cool idea, by the way. There's these, like, hanging skates, right? If I can find them. Where are the hanging skates? These. How do these work? Oh, they go on blocks. Because what I could do, right? Watch this shit. You guys are going to be mind blown by this. I've done this on previous builds, but now that we have this, it's a lot easier. I can make shoes that are hanging from the telephone line. Look at that. Can't even really tell they're skates. And even if they are skates, maybe the farmer that could have died here really liked skates. And, you know, their grandkids or something came and hung them up as a memorial or something. A lot of people say this is how gangs mark their territory, but there's more meanings behind it than just that, I feel like. But, like, that's so cool. I'm going to start doing that on a lot of builds. I made sure to buy a ton of these, because I actually don't know if they're going to be gone by the time that, you know, winter's over. Because it is kind of seasonal, but it's kind of not at the same time. But the next thing I'll do is I'll get pallets and, like, various things that a farm would kind of have lying around. Because, you know, they take fertilizer and seed deliveries and stuff. So we'll get, like, some pallets lying around. And just like this. Plain and simple. Do I get any in here? Why not? Maybe get a couple stacks of pallets in here. I'm not going to get a lot of this kind of stuff because it's barely visible. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't really need to be seen, but I am getting it just for the immersion. I was planning on putting the custom tractor in here, but it's too dark. I kind of changed my mind and thought maybe we should put it somewhere kind of buried in the snow. Like it's stuck in the snow. I'm going to delete all these. I'm not using all these, but I do need to get some trash. But after we get the trash, the last thing we need to do is literally just get the custom tractor. I was kind of planning on making what's it called, like a cultivator or something, but kind of changing my mind on that because for this build I'm on a very, very bad time crunch. I'm like 4 days behind. I was supposed to like be done editing this video like 3 days ago. I'm still building it. Takes like a day or two to edit, so I'm really late. But I am working on some pretty, like, cool stuff. I mean, you would have seen it already. I'm currently working on a collab with Capto. Me saying this isn't leaking it because you would have seen it already. It's supposed to come out in a couple days. This is going to be coming out in January. It's December 17th right now, but you get the point. But I think I'm going to stop after I've kind of decorated this how I want to. And then we'll make a custom tractor maybe tomorrow or the day after, and then we can call this finished, really. Very pleased with how this is looking. Totally has an abandoned barn vibe, or like an abandoned farm vibe, which is exactly what I was shooting for. I'm very pleased with how this is looking. I was very iffy about it at first, like, I really didn't know whether or not, like, I liked it or not, or, you know, like, it's so hard to explain. I just felt so iffy about it, because, like, it was so bland, and since it's a farm, there's nothing really in front of it. There's no trees, there's no, you know, like, anything. So I felt so weird about it. But now that I'm seeing it with grass, telephone wire, custom trees, I'm really pleased with this. I think this roof kind of snow field hack or whatever looks pretty cool too. Because all I did was I just took a shit ton of mansard roofs and stacked them on top of each other, and it kind of looks like very rough, unmaintained terrain. I was also kind of debating on getting like an abandoned car too. I just don't know which one. Like, would a Morris Mini make more sense, or a Volkswagen Beetle? This is too new looking to me. I need something quite old. That could be cool. Can maybe get this like in here. Maybe I'll just do like the Morris Mini over here in the snow. Like, that looks cool. And again, dirt stain. Get like a green. Like, that looks cool. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna come back on tomorrow. I'll see you guys then. And we'll make our custom tractor. So I figured out that the wheel, the front wheel, is the size of half a person. So about half of my avatar, I'd say. That's the front wheel. The back wheel, however, is about the height of a person. So like there. Maybe a little shorter. Like there. That is kind of our wheel size. And I kind of like how wide they are. I might make them a little bit wider. Like that. I'll start off by making the rear wheel. Should be simple enough. Perfect circle hack. Always coming in clutch. What can I say? Always comes in clutch. The cylinder is kind of just like a reference. I'm not really actually going to put anything on it. Or use it in general. This is more just so I know what I'm making. Trying to figure out how. Might go that wide. Seems good to me. The very difficult part about this is gonna be getting the like tread, the tractor tread, like, you know, the arrow shape or whatever that they have, the triangles. We gotta get that somehow. Can also round out the sides. Do wonder if it's too thick now though. Okay, looking at this, I would need to make some adjustments. We're gonna make it a little thinner in both ways. Get our rounding back on. That should be better. Yeah, that works. Okay, now I gotta take it all away again. To make the tread, I may or may not just do this. And we're gonna see how good that looks. Could look fire, could look buns. Let's see. Kinda looks buns. But also does have a fire look to it at the same time. If I rotated this... No, that doesn't look like a tractor tire. Is it just too sharp? Maybe I should lower it a bit. Could just do that. So that could be our rear wheel. .75 by 1.75. Just like that. And that's kind of the rim. It's literally just a square in the middle. Very primitive. We'll bring it down so you can still access the source block. And on the source block, I'm going to get a little hubcap sort of thing. Like this. Whoa. Not like that. Actually, let me switch that up real quick. Let me use a horizontal one. And then we'll put a hook on it. That'll look much better. Yeah, that's cool. I'm going to do something that's very similar for the front. Can I still transform this? Thank goodness. I'm going to kind of steal the same design, but I'm going to adjust it so it's, you know, fitting the front wheel. It's kind of getting our wheel now. Same design for this. Gonna have a square in the middle. Except this time we're gonna get more of a star shape, which doesn't actually seem to fit good. Hold on. And we'll get the hooks around the wheel to make like lugs. Or some sort of thing that does a thing. You know, for detail. Thing that does a thing. Easy detail. So there's kind of our wheels. I'm gonna transform them. Can I... Yo. Where on earth is my source block, bro? I'm going to transform these so that they're, you know, actually sat properly. So we'll get our transform tool, put it on the invisible shape, and, you know, rotate it so it's in the proper formation of a wheel. Just like this. Put it in the ground a little bit. And then we'll put the rim in the same way. Gonna be kind of difficult, but I gotta get it on that source block somehow. That works. Now I gotta transform this so it's in the wheel, which actually was a lot easier than I thought it would be. I'm gonna actually increase this cube a little bit more because it's a bit small. And there you go. Big O wheel. I'm gonna do the same thing for the little one, and then we can finally start like our chassis and everything. You can kind of see the look we're going for now. I'm just gonna place like a base, I guess you could call it, just like that. Trying to figure this out, because the engine and all that is actually further out front. I'm trying to figure out where the cab is in comparison to the engine. I think it's about there. It's like halfway. So I'm going to mark it out like that. Because right here's where the engine will be. Right here's where the cab will be. This thing's going to be blue. So I'm going to start getting some blue trim on here. So it looks a little more eye-catching and a little nicer. Do like smooth rock maybe. Get a nice blue. Maybe darken it a titch. This is based off of the Ford... The whatchamacallit? The Ford 7710. I'm not a tractor nerd, alright? I'm just going for what looks cool. So we're doing the Ford 7710. But I'm not doing it by accuracy. I'm using that as inspiration, but I'm also making it my own, you know? So I don't want to see any like, you did it wrong! But this is where our weight will go. Right here on the front. And then we'll go to the engine as well. For the weight, I'll probably use like a pillow. Or maybe there's something better, I don't know. I need something that's like a rounded square. Or a cube, rather. I need like a rounded cube with like rivets. I'm not going to find that here, am I? Now we'll use the barrel. The barrel will work perfect. So we'll just put this on. That'll be our weight. And then right behind the weight, we'll start making like the engine and all that. Which is actually going to be really difficult because the thing about this tractor, right, is you can see the engine inside from the outside. So I'm going to have to make like a custom engine of some sort. Not here, right here. Because there's a portion about this big, which we won't even you know, show the engine in. And then from here to here, which this line is the cab, which I might actually scoot back a little bit more. Hold on. This to this is going to be like engine. So I'm going to make a custom engine and put it in there. And then from here to the back is the cab. So that's kind of how I'm gauging this. I'm really liking how it's looking underneath, though. All these, like, wires and stuff. Struts and whatchamacallit. All the, like, stabilization and shit. And I'll start crafting the front. I don't know if I'm going to finish this today, but I'll definitely kind of establish a plan. Small square plaid, bro. Peak. This is such a peak texture. And you can literally, like, put it anywhere, use it anywhere. Like, it's great for making a grill or, like, a vent or whatever you want that's mesh. Like, even if you're making, like, the intake on a car. Maybe you're making a hood scoop for a Subaru or something. It's so perfect. We're going to round it out on the front here. You trust the process, alright, y'all? Might actually make this lighter, because it's lighter in my reference. We're then going to get a cube, put it on top, and cover the whole thing in blue. Again. And then this goes all the way to the cab. And then, if this can be resized wide enough, I wouldn't mind. Oh, yo. Is there anything more perfect than that? That literally resized the exact size I needed it to. That was so peak. Okay. I may or may not shorten this a little bit more. It's a bit wide. Go down to like 7.25. Get this back on. I'm going to get a plank and make like a little stripe, which is too wide. I'm going to have to use a beam instead. I'm really liking how this is looking, though. I must say, I'm very pleased with this. Go to like there. Make like a black stripe. And then we'll put some nice accents on that too. Just by doing this. I'm going to have to check my plot data in a second because I am growing quite worried. See, I want it to look like modern and kind of comfortable, but I also want it to look primitive at the same time. Like, I'll have, you know, comfort inside, which is this, like, fuzz and insulation, but I also want to have parts that are really raw looking, and it's just, like, exposed metal, you know what I mean? I think that could be really cool, and it would fit the kind of, like, old tractor look. So like right here, this is still the inside, but I might put like a plank and make it diamond plate. That could be sick. Like that, bro. Kind of fire. I don't know about y'all. And then I'll kind of add, you know, structurals and stuff to make sure everything fits nice before I actually put my roof on. I'm liking the realistic kind of feel of this tractor. It feels really real compared to a lot of my other custom vehicles. I don't know why. I don't know what's different about it compared to everything else. I'm going to get some decals for this. I'm going to get like a Ford sign or label. 7710. Maybe the actual emblem right there. Still a lot more I got to add, but I'm very pleased with how this is turning out so far. I must say. I've only been building for like an hour or two, so I'm making really good pace as well. Going to get like that black seal I have on the subway, the buses, a lot of the other builds I've done. How many of y'all watching have watched Clarkson's Farm, bro? Dog, he taught me so much about like the farming industry. I was so ignorant. I still kind of am, even after watching it. I initially just watched it because he was hosting it, but I did learn a lot from watching it, I'm not gonna lie, which is kind of cool because he really is spreading awareness for, like, you know, the importance of this career. Yeah, there we go. That's kind of our basic tractor. We need glass, lights, branding, and exhaust. There's a lot we need, but it's an actual, like, recognizable vehicle now. And if we were to get it, like, here, for example, look at that. That could be a thumbnail right there. Like, you see the vision, right? It still needs fenders and stuff too, but I gotta go collab with Capta, so I will be back soon. It is time to finish this damn tractor. Looking at this now, I do think I need a lot more underneath because it's very bare. So I might just get like a rod going from here to here. Might lower it a titch as well, just so it looks a little more built underneath because it looks kind of bare right now. You know how it be. I can't tell if I should be making more exterior or doing the interior. I think I'll do the engine instead. Every single photo of this tractor is at like 144p, bro. The resolution is so bad, I can't even really see the details I need to add. That alone looks good already. I do think I should get a little bit more though, because it does feel a bit basic. Something I'm gonna do is make a fender, because we gotta make some fenders for the whole thing. We'll have to do the same for the back. The back won't be rounded though, it'll be more geometric. And then we also have the cab. I want to do a little more with the engine too, because I do feel it's a bit bare right now. And then we gotta do the back, finish the engine. We need an exhaust, lights, decals, which I probably should have made before I got back on here, but it is what it is. 1.35. And then I'll just attach this to the frame using like structurals. Why not? Doesn't have to be too even. Again, crooked stuff makes it look damaged, so I don't care. There you go. Snorkel or an air filter. I actually don't know what it is. It comes out the top near the front. It looks like a snorkel, but it's probably an air filter. It goes like here. The exhaust, get like 0.4 in thickness. It should be more towards the front actually. Hold on. We'll get it here. And then for height, we'll probably go like that. And then on this, we'll get a larger rod. Goes from... Actually, let's make this thinner. Hold on. 0.3. 0.25. And then one attachment like this. Make it that. Whatever that is. Plaid. I made it too long. Love that. Or is it good? It might be good. We'll leave it like that for now. Maybe we'll lower it a titch, actually. Hold on. Let's go down one medium grid space. I feel like that's a little better. We'll do the roof. Actually, no, I gotta do the glass, because we haven't done the glass yet. What does this look like when it's actually, like, just in the snow? Pretty cool. Again, I can't help but think the back wheels are a little small. Or maybe the cab is just tall. If I bring it down like that, maybe it's a little better. So I'm gonna have those 2 lights there. That one there. And I might get some more higher up towards the cab. And then after that, we'll make a very basic little interior, and then we just gotta do our decals, and then we can call this finished. I'm very happy with how this is turning out. There you go. So I'm gonna go... Actually, no, let me make a quick interior. I'm not gonna do anything too complicated, because there is genuinely no need to. Get, like, various switches and doohickeys. Again, I'm not a tractor expert, y'all. I don't know what the hell half of this is. So don't be, like, cooking me, alright? Well, yeah, you can cook me. Just tell me why it's not good, though. Because I need to learn from the mistakes I make. Can't just say it's bad and then walk off. I need to know why, or else I can't improve. But I'll get, like, there's very little details. That could be a cheeky sneak peek right there. That'll be what I put in the community, and you guys can guess what it is. It's kind of obvious, but you know. But I'm gonna go make my decals. I will be back quite soon, because there's only really 2. I've made our decals. We are ready to go. We are ready to finish this build finally. And I've got my Christmas suit on. I got the tie that I taught myself to tie. White collared shirt. It's December 18th. It's not too early, but it is time to do our decals. There's only 3. We've got an emblem and 2 stickers. That's all it is. So there isn't much left in terms of building. There's just literally 3 decals, and then we're gonna put this thing in a field somewhere, abandoned. Make it look real sad. Wait, I haven't added mirrors yet. I have to add mirrors too. That's another thing. Let's do the mirrors first, actually. I don't even know how I forgot that. Should be simple. There you go, mirrors. Easy. There we go. They've all gone through. Love that. Start off with the emblem, which just goes on the front. There you go. Now, if we were to place this, like, maybe just in this little field right here, this is the look we'd be getting, which I kind of like. Hold on. Not that. Rotate it a little bit too much. Now, maybe we'll do that. I like that. So I think we can actually call this build finished. Let me just rotate this a little bit more. But yeah, I think we can call this build finished. So without further ado, let us commence our tour. Starting off, you have this dirt road leading into our farm. You got your power lines. You can see one of them kind of snapped and is just dangling now. Got a pair of shoes hung from the wire. Some trash. There's your actual farmhouse right there. You can see the snow is absolutely out of control. It's very wavy, very dunesy, very unmaintained. This place is like just in a very bad state. Unshoveled, inaccessible. You got custom pine trees around your farmhouse. All the paint's been kind of chipped off over time. Very big, very cozy. Got graffiti, boarded up windows, grime, downspouts, more custom trees, supplies, pallets. You know, just everything a farmhouse would probably have. I'm very pleased with how this turned out. Got the snow on the roof as well, just for added detail, which I'm now realizing isn't on these top parts. Hold on. There you go. That's the complete look right there. Very classic farmhouse. Paint came off over time. It's weathered, grimy, got graffiti, all that jazz. Just a basic abandoned house, you know? Curtains, all that jazz. I don't know if it's that realistic, but I do think it does have a bit of a real vibe to it. Here you have a silo. It actually still has the roof, unlike the other one over here, which no longer has its roof. Don't look down the top, or else you'll see that monstrosity. You got custom dead trees right here. Nice little space fillers. Another custom dead tree there. Custom grass, custom bushes, all that jazz to make this look a little overgrown. Because dead grass does peek through big piles of snow. At least where I live it does. So I was trying to capture that same vibe. You got an abandoned car here. Little Morris Mini buried in the snow. Love how cool that looks. Graffiti. Inside the barn, you got an old lawnmower or like a smaller tractor. plenty of pallets, some jugs. You got sun peeking through our planks. I love the look that this has. The kind of damaged barn. This totally looks like those abandoned barns you see on like highways in Canada. Real Canadians will know what I'm talking about. It'll be like a barn missing so many like wooden planks, and it'll look just like this. What else do I have to show? Just a tractor, I guess. Based off of a Ford 7710. That decal's disappearing. Hold on. Based on a Ford 7710. You can see this thing is buried in the snow. It's overgrown. It's definitely not doing too hot. Got custom wheels, custom tires, basic interior. Your engine in there. Lights, labels, and emblems. Your air filter, your exhaust. Engine again. There's your back tire. Your back hitches and brake lights and all that. I'm very pleased with how this turned out, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't know if I was gonna be able to do it or not, but looking at it now, I think I actually pulled it off. And it looks really flippin' cool, sitting in the snow on like that angle. I'm very, very pleased with how it turned out. Look at that. And then you got the tree growing inside it. That looks so cool. This might be one of the few custom vehicles I actually save for a future build. But yeah, that is our abandoned farm. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me get a better view. Hold on. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy, please let me know. Tell me what you think in the comments. Is the tractor accurate? Is the housing accurate? Is the barn accurate? Any farm geeks or farmers in the comments, let me know. Is this accurate? Totally went for like an abandoned Canadian farm. Could also be American, but this is based off of a lot of abandoned farms you'll see in Canada off like some random ass highway. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys. A little more B-roll. Look at that. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye now.